When I first woke up, I didn't even know my own name. Everything was white. Walls, ceiling. Even the light had that sterile hospital hue that made it feel like the world had been bleached of color. A soft, rhythmic beeping echoed beside me. Steady, patient. My chest hurt when I tried to breathe like I'd swallowed fire. "Don't move yet," a calm voice said. I turned my head, wincing. Standing beside my bed was a woman. No, not a woman. Her skin shimmered faintly like moonlight on glass. She had no hair, only a soft crest running from her brow to the back of her skull, glowing faint blue beneath her skin. Her eyes, large and violet, watched me with concern. "My name is Siel," she said. "You're safe now, human." Human. The word hit me like a stone. Safe. I didn't even know what unsafe meant anymore, but my instincts screamed that I wasn't supposed to be here, wherever here was. Beginning, the caretaker. Over the next few days, Siel became my entire world. She helped me sit, eat, talk, even breathe properly again. The machines around my bed hummed and clicked like a living organism, but it was her voice, soft, measured, almost musical, that kept me calm. She told me I'd been found adrift in a derelict cryopod near the outer verge, barely alive. "Your vessel was ancient," she said one day while adjusting a glowing panel near my chest. "Pre-war human design. We thought your kind extinct." Extinct. That word haunted me. I had no memories beyond pain, light, and her voice. I didn't know what war she meant. I didn't know what your kind referred to beyond the word human. Siel told me very little about her people, the Kalari, except that they were healers by culture and stewards by choice. She was my caretaker, my nurse, she said, assigned to ensure my full biological restoration. Her world was nothing like Earth, if Earth even still existed. Through the glass walls of my recovery room, I saw a vast ocean of green-blue fog outside, through which sleek floating platforms drifted lazily. Beings of different shapes and colors moved gracefully, all under the same muted light. One day I asked, "Why are you helping me?" Siel smiled, a faint, practiced motion, as if she'd learned the gesture from observing others. "Because we are Kalari. We preserve life." But there was something in her tone. Hesitation. Something she wasn't saying. Weeks turned into months. My strength returned. My muscles hardened under the artificial gravity fields. I began to remember fragments. Flashes of steel corridors, the smell of burning ozone, the roar of explosions in space, the sight of other humans in armored suits shouting orders. We'd been fighting someone. But who? Each time I asked, Siel would look away. "The records of your species' conflict are restricted," she would say. "It's not yet time for you to know." That answer was never enough. Middle, the lies and the truth. The first real crack appeared when I noticed the scars. Beneath my ribs there was a line. Too clean, too deliberate. Surgical. I confronted her. "What did you do to me?" I demanded. She paused, her luminous pupils narrowing. "You were injured. Your organs were failing. We repaired what we could." "With what?" Her silence told me everything I needed to know. I checked the reflection in a metal panel later that night. My eyes, once brown, now flickered faintly with the same bioluminescence as hers. My skin had a sheen, subtle but alien. My heartbeat felt off-tempo. "Siel," I said the next day, "I'm not fully human anymore, am I?" She froze. The instruments around us flickered, reacting to her elevated pulse. "You were dying," she whispered. "We had to integrate Kalari tissue to save you. It was the only way." I sat there stunned. "You turned me into one of you." "No," she stepped closer, her voice trembling. "We made you stronger. We made you whole. But you're still human. At least as much as you can be. Her eyes glimmered not with pity but with something else. Guilt. That night I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling and tried to remember what being human even meant. And then the alarms came. The lights turned red. A low-pitched wail filled the corridors. I stumbled out of my chamber, my body moving faster than it should have. Reflexes sharper, vision clearer. Siel was waiting at the door, holding something that looked like a crystalline tablet. "They've found us," she said quickly. "Stay behind me." "Who?" Before she could answer, the walls rippled, literally, as a shockwave tore through the medical wing. The ceiling split, revealing the green fog outside. Shapes descended, black-armored insectoid figures, their limbs glinting like razors. I remembered them. I didn't know their name, but I remembered their smell, their chittering. "Enemy! The Carthuan! Stay down!" Siel shouted as a bolt of plasma scorched the wall above me. But I didn't stay down. Something primal rose in me, an instinct buried deep in my marrow. I grabbed a fallen metal shard and lunged forward. The nearest Carthuan hissed and swung its bladed arm, but I was faster. My arm, enhanced, alien, human, drove the shard through its neck. It fell with a screech. Siel's wide eyes met mine. "You remember how to fight." I didn't answer. I was already moving. Within minutes, the corridor was littered with smoking bodies. My lungs burned, my knuckles bled blue and red, and my mind felt like fire, but I was alive, hungry for it. The Kalari guards arrived too late. Siel dragged me back into the ward, her hands shaking. "You weren't supposed to." "Supposed to what?" "Snap." "Defend myself." "Defend you." She looked like she might cry. But instead she whispered, "You weren't supposed to know what you are." The revelation. Later, when the attack was repelled, Siel came to my chamber and told me everything. The war I remembered, the human-Carthuan conflict, had ended nearly 2 centuries ago. Humanity had fought until the last fleet was shattered. The Carthuan were relentless, consuming worlds, erasing civilizations. But humans didn't die easily. When the Kalari found the aftermath, they discovered what no one believed possible. Carthuan vessels drifting, their crews dead, their ship systems melted from the inside out. Humans had fought to extinction, but not before taking the enemy's gods with them. "The galaxy feared your species," Siel said softly. "You were primitive, short-lived, emotional. And yet you burned brighter than anyone. You frightened even us." She told me the Kalari had gathered the remnants of humanity's genetic code, storing them for study. Over generations, it became taboo to even mention humans. Myth. A warning. And then they found me, cryogenically preserved, carrying what she called pure human DNA. But that wasn't the secret. The secret was that I wasn't the first. There were others, she confessed, tears forming in her glowing eyes. We tried to awaken them. None survived the transition. Your body, your mind, adapted. You're the only one who lived. Transition. Yes. Her voice shook. We weren't just healing you. We were testing you. Trying to bridge human and Kalari biology, to see if what made you so powerful could be understood. I stared at her. "So I'm your experiment." She nodded weakly. "You were. But now you're something more. The awakening." I didn't speak to her for days. I trained instead, using the Kalari's combat simulators, running through memory fragments that felt more like muscle than mind. I could tear through steel plating, react to energy bolts mid-flight, breathe in toxic air. The Kalari Council summoned me eventually. Elegant beings, tall and radiant, speaking through shimmering translators. "Human," the eldest said. "You are an anomaly. Relic. We wish to preserve you for study." I laughed. Preserve. Like a museum piece. Their silence was answer enough. That night, Siel came to my quarters. Her hands trembled as she reached for mine. "I never meant for it to be like this. But the council won't let you leave. Then I'll make them." "You don't understand, Eric," she said, calling me by the name she'd found in my cryo records. "If you resist, they'll destroy you. You're too dangerous. They think you carry the madness that ended your race." "Maybe I do." She flinched at the coldness in my voice. But then she stepped closer, tears slipping down her pale cheek. "Then let me help you. Let me make it right." The escape. With Siel's help, I learned how deep the Kalari's fear ran. They'd been hiding more than me. They'd been hiding evidence that humans were still out there. A distress signal, weak and old, originating from a world near the dead expanse. A colony ship, damaged but not destroyed. Siel showed it to me in secret. "They erased this," she said. "If the council learns I told you, I'll be exiled, or worse." "Then come with me," I said. She looked away. "I can't. My people." "Your people turned me into a weapon without asking. You said you wanted to make it right. This is how." For a long moment she said nothing. Then softly, "Then we leave at dawn." Ending the confession. The escape was chaos. Sirens, lights, pursuit drones. We stole a medical transport. Sleek, silent, faster than any human craft I remembered. As the Kalari homeworld faded behind us, I looked at Siel. "You knew this would happen," I said. She didn't deny it. "Yes. The council ordered me to awaken you. They hoped to learn from you, to see if humanity's flame could be controlled." "Could it?" Her eyes met mine. "No. It can only burn." We reached the coordinates days later, a barren world scarred by craters and storms. But the scanners didn't lie. Beneath the surface was a signal. Faint heartbeat. "Life signs," Siel whispered. "Human." I stared at the console, my hands trembling. After centuries. We weren't extinct. I turned to her. "Why tell me now? Why risk everything?" Siel hesitated, then stepped close enough that I could see her pulse glow faintly under her throat. "Because I couldn't keep lying," she said. "You weren't just my patient, Eric. You were the proof that what we destroyed still deserves to live." Her voice broke. "And because I love you." Silence filled the cabin. The hum of the engines, the soft flicker of lights, all of it faded under the weight of her confession. I reached out and touched her hand. Her skin was warm, alive, and for the first time since waking I didn't feel alone. "Then let's bring them home," I said. The ship descended through the storm. Below us, the scanners began to sing. Dozens of signatures, then hundreds, human life stirring from ancient slumber. Siel gripped my hand as the clouds split open and a field of shattered cryopods gleamed beneath lightning. And in that moment, as thunder rolled across the dead world, I realized something the galaxy had long forgotten. Humans don't die. We wait. We rebuild. We rise. And this time we wouldn't be alone.